In this video, we will take a look at the current situation on the stock market because this week, as you know, is going to be very exciting. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq, for example, to see what the general mood is like because it's currently pretty tense. What was going on in the markets today? In the end, the mood on all the stock markets was quite ambiguous. The rooftop lock with a small minus of 0.5%. We also see the Nasdaq ticking up at the moment, Dodo and Jones with a small minus. Let's take a look there. Dodo Jones, let's take the Dodo Jones 30 here. I see a minus of 0.5%. So it's putting a bit of pressure on investor sentiment. And it's the elections. It's the elections that are coming up tomorrow. And as I said, it's going to be a pretty close race. And we need certainty. As long as there is uncertainty on the stock markets, as long as we don't know who the winner is, as long as that prevails, there will be a kind of pressure that will depress the markets, that will weigh on the markets. And we can expect volatility, especially if there are delays in the counting of the votes. And that is not at all unlikely. If you now ask yourself how you could proceed, my personal assessment is that we should sit on cash and wait and see what trend we end up with after the elections, because that is still unclear. And there is also the effect of the US Federal Reserve's interest rate decision. I think the interest rate decision will be made on Thursday, and it is this clarity, these certainties that exist that I think it definitely makes sense to wait and see. Of course, there are different views on the time after that, and Goldman Sachs, for example, has pronounced that after the elections, there will be a rise in various stocks again due to the FOMO effect, due to the fear of missing out, i.e. the feeling of fear of possibly missing out on further price increases. And this can actually be proven historically, for example, that shares tend to rise in the last 2 months of the year, especially in election years. And there is another effect that is now also somewhat imminent if you look at the calendar, namely corporate buybacks in November, which is typically a month in which there are actually share buybacks.